Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's going on?
All right. Part two.
So yeah, it's part two. You can tell we got the
Same outfit
same
on.
clothes. We're just gonna post this one a little later, cause just gonna post a little later. So this week, or this topic, this time we're going to be talking about transitioning.
Your children.
Yeah, teenagers transitioning to those teenage years, and also bear with us for a second.
All right.
So we're going to be talking about how we're watching our oldest transition into a teen, and how is that different from us when we transition to teens, and like just those differences. So,
Yep.
I don't know. You want to start? You want me to start, or what? It don't matter.
You can start, sweetheart.
Okay, so I'll start. First of all, of course, everybody know with the teens going into your teens, you start getting attitudes. Like I said, I can speak on our oldest one, Aviana. To me, brilliant, very smart. She's very respectful. And for me personally, she just got to that point to where sometimes she may cop a smaller attitude, but
Mood swings.
mood swings. But for the most part, Aviana does well with me. So I'm gonna let Jazz kind of talk about her point of view. Woman to woman, and then it's that daddy daughter thing. So, you got to take all that stuff into into consideration and factor all that stuff in. So,
Yeah.
you can go ahead. Oh,
Sorry.
keep
guys.
on sliding. Sorry, y'all. Bad.
All right. Transitioning. As a mother, it's hard because you realize that they're growing up. It's sad. You have your moments where you're sad because it's like, dang, my baby getting older. And then you go back and then you start thinking about when you were that age. So then you start to realize what her body is going through.
Yeah.
So, like DeMarco said, the mood swings are coming, the different hormones that are taking place over her body because she's a preteen. She'll be 13 in April. So it's just like seeing that transition is hard. Aviana, DeMarco did a great introduction on Aviana. Aviana's the oldest and she's very, very, very smart. It's just the changes that she's going through and the different things that we're being in middle school. Talk about middle school. The different things that they can be exposed to. The different things. Oh, my bad.
No, my bad.
Sorry. So the different things that they can be exposed to in middle school and just trying to prepare her so that to let her know that we know what it was like, and because we are younger parents, to talk about like our experiences and keeping it real with her because in middle school there's a lot of peer pressure. Yep. There's a lot of trying to figure out who you are, and you should if you're not this way, then you just cast out or you're weird. We're just teaching her that it's good to be different. She don't have to fit in with people. So that's kind of what we're going through. Like DeMarco said, she tried to get mouthy with me. And I just think a lot of mothers, especially with their oldest, they see a lot of themselves in them. I have to say that in areas. So it's just like, okay, look now, little girl, don't play with me. Or don't try me because I already know where you're trying to go with this. Don't try me. So it's that.
I would say I kind of just piggyback on the exposure. I just feel like just being exposed to things in life in general. There's certain things that we expose our kids to and that are age appropriate.
Absolutely.
So whenever it comes that time to where we need to talk about the cycle, talk about sex, we need to talk about certain things, drugs. When our kids ask us, that's when we pretty much just let them know the real deal, Holyfield. We don't hold back because they didn't heard it, they seen it somewhere, so now they want to know.
Right.
So that's how I feel about with being exposed to certain things. And then also like even being around family members, and not even, that's to me it's not a bad thing, but like I know when our kids go back home with our parents, like especially my nieces. My nieces are older. You know, I got an 18-year-old niece, and then Tyra just turned, I think.
She's 19.
Oh, 19, yeah, 19, and I think Tyra just turned 15.
Yes.
And long story short, they're exposed a little bit more. So whenever they go around them, they hear certain things or they see certain things, and at that point, it's like, you know, they're exposed to something that they're not exposed to with just mommy and daddy at home, you know? So that's how I feel about that, you know, with the teens. These days, they just been exposed to me a lot more and a lot earlier.
Yeah.
Than I think we were. I mean, even though I feel like I feel like I was exposed to a lot of things early, just because of Boys and Girls Club, and then just middle school was just it was the real deal. Like it really started in middle school. So,
yeah. So
that's how I feel about that. And then also I talk about next topic was just being open. Being open with your kids and allowing them to express themselves. That's one thing we do with our children. We allow them. We have what we call family meetings. Even Malia may call it. Avi may call it. Me, anybody can call it at any time. And that's, we all get into the same room and we pretty much give constructive criticism to each family member. So we start out with Malia. She'll say, Avi, I don't like this. Daddy, I need you to work on this. Mama, I need you to work on this.
Absolutely.
And then we go from there. Avi get her turn, Jazz do hers, and then I do mine. And it's, like I said, I think that's a really, really big thing. And in the community is trying to raise kids is allowing them to express themselves. Respectfully, yeah, absolutely. It's got to always be respectful. Like, you're not finna say, because Avi also is at that point to where she's think that she's our equal. Like, so,
we had to shut that down.
Yeah, so we had to let her know, like, well, Daddy, you did this, and Mom, we can do that. Like, you can't do this, you know. So you kind of gotta like always a lesson behind something to me, especially when it comes to my kids. So that's just me and expressing those things with our kids. So
yeah, and like DeMichael said, when they're asking questions, they've already been exposed to it, and if you don't tell them the truth, then the world's going to teach them, and we don't believe in the world teaching our kids.
Absolutely.
I would say that's the difference for me. The question said, what was the difference from our kids? And I feel like the world taught me a lot of things, and that wasn't good. A lot of the stuff wasn't factual.
Yeah.
It was a hot mess. So therefore, I don't want the world teaching our kids, and we're not trying to. There's a balance we like to do. We're not trying to let them grow up too fast and be grown. And there's also, we're not trying to keep them sheltered where they feel like, oh my God, what is that?
Yeah, because I'm going to just kind of interject just because me being in the military, I will say, and I look at a lot of like documentaries and things, and I do see to where, being in the military sometimes, like we kind of like this. And as Jazz just said, I know for me, my biggest thing is to always try to keep that door open, you know, where they can, like I said, express themselves, because I don't want to be too strict, because a lot of times with being too strict with your kids, that make them veer off a certain way to where it's just, get wild. They pretty much just wild out because they were so sheltered the whole time. So when they actually do get exposed to some things, they don't know how to take it. It's just like, hey, this is what I know. This is what I just seen. Boom, and they just take it off like that. So,
and like I said, balance it, because parenting is very hard.
It is,
and I feel that parenting and marriage are like the toughest things. I think that if you get a chance to experience, that was the toughest things that you will experience. Like DeMichael said, it's definitely fun. They're definitely fun moments, but it's also really real life. Is work, you know what I'm saying? And you have children looking up to you for these answers, and you're praying that you're doing the best that you can. So it's just parenting is, and to me, I'm not into the books, reading the parent books. straight up, because I'm gonna be honest with you, there's no answer on parenting.
That's real.
There's no
They are
answer.
different.
Every child, Malia is totally different from Aviana, and Aviana is different from Malia, period, in her voice.
Yeah.
They're totally different. So
we raise them different. So
you have to raise
tailor
them
it to that child.
to who they are.
Yep.
Also, so there's not a book. There's not going to be a perfect child. Children aren't perfect, just like we aren't. Shouldn't teach them to try to be perfect. There's no great. I wouldn't say there's no great time to have children, but also
perfect time.
It's never perfect timing. But I would throw out the recommend that you guys do be married if possible, even though we weren't.
Yep.
Because I'll be honest, it was a lot easier with Malia than it was with Aviana, and I would say also that don't get all caught up in I don't have enough money, and I'm not saying. I wouldn't want you to say, okay, yeah, just bring your kids into where you don't have no money. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you could probably, more than likely, you might not be a millionaire. And you don't need to be a millionaire to be a child. I mean, to have a child, to be a parent. So I'm just throwing that out
there. So you'll never have enough money to where you think it's okay to have a child, and it'll never be the right time. Because something always going to come up. Obstacles are always going to come up. So, and my last thing I want to say is that enjoy your kids while they're kids, because they're not going to be our babies forever. As for the ones that want to kiss on you, hug on you, sit in your lap, love on you, after they start getting older, it started to be their phones, their friends, and then they trying to exit on out the house, and all that time that you want to push them off or go sit down, go do this, hey, you lost those times. So that's why I said, for me, I always remind myself of having that family time. Even Jazz do a great job of telling me, like, hey, Michael, how about you just go run upstairs and go lay in the bed with the girls, And I did it, not realizing, like, when I come back downstairs or next day, and it kind of get me emotional because, like I said, I got girls, I love them. But at the end of the day, it gets me emotional because it's like, they come down, it's like, oh, daddy came and got in the bed with me. Like, he never did that. He don't do this. And it's just because I stay downstairs. I can always come in, but I don't really always go upstairs and go sit down with them and just lay in the bed, So cherish those moments. Yeah. I always cherish those moments, especially as a father too, especially with girls. Like, it's right. Man, that's a very important job.
Yes, that's your first love. It's so real.
So I'm definitely and take that, and men, take that constructive criticism from your women. They were girls. They are girls. They were little girls. They may be women now, but at first I used to always, no, Jazz, I got it. No, I didn't have it. I had the real deal say, Jazz, you know what? You were right. I actually, as I got older, I was like, you know what? I could be a mature young man to listen to my wife on something that I have no idea about, So do that, just listen, listen to them. So
yeah.
Any
last minute? Did you say you was going to talk about daddy girls? That was what you was talking about. You said that, I think, at the beginning.
If I did, I think I said everything.
Okay, good.
So just girl dad.
Yeah. And that's funny because like he said, he'll go up there and they be so hyped because he up there. I go up there, it's like, hey mom, dang.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm gonna take y'all to get something to eat. Okay. Do we gotta go?
Yeah.
Then your daddy take it out. All right, let's go. Bye.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. So
it's important. Parenting is very important. So.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because you do a damn good job, and I'm gonna say it. So I can say damn good job, regardless. Sorry, I don't care who feel it. Damn good job.
Sound like your daddy.
I know. It's my daddy, man.
All right,
but
guys.
Y'all, like I said, I think that's our time. So until next time, man, we love y'all. And just stay tuned in. We appreciate it.